questions, and then they will be afforded a 1-minute summation. And let's hear it for our timekeepers back there. Man, they're keeping them going. All right. Okay, and there will be a rotation speaking. So Ms. Burkett, you will start, and then Mr. Holland, and then Mr. Holland, you will have an opportunity to speak first on the second question. The first question is, what are the best ways for dealing with a budget deficit?
The best ways for dealing with a budget deficit comes in several ways of approaching the problem in the first place.
There we go. It's fine. I know it's not. First of all, when we look at what a budget deficit does to our city and what that means to our citizens, we need to take a look at a number of ways of dealing with it. Do we need to look at truly defining the things that need to be cut in terms of expenditures and expenses, as far as your non-people related expenses? But then you also have to look at ways of generating revenue, ways of generating income for a city. So it's not all about cutting. And so when we look at budget deficits within a city, we need to look at both of the sides equally. Heath has been a great community in the fact that we haven't had a tax increase in 19 years. And I think what that speaks to is a number of things. We've seen good growth in the number of homes that are there, but we haven't seen good growth in the number of retail outlets, commercial ventures. And that's where the taxpayers begin to start taking more of the load, that we need to find ways to reduce that taxpayer burden on the homeowners. So as a city council member, I will work with the council, with the EDC for Heath, and with others, county commissioners and other entities, to find ways to bring retail in, to bring other commercial ventures in. The recent municipal management district that many of you have probably read about, that is a project being proposed on the south end of Heath, partially in Kaufman County, but mostly in Rockwall County, but all in the city of Heath. That's a type of district that I feel can help bring that type of a balanced budget for us. Thank you.
All right.
My name is Justin Holland, and I'd like to thank you guys for having us. The question on revenue, it's a great question to be asked as a candidate for Heath City Council, because we have done such a great job in keeping a balanced budget in Heath. I'm proud to run for an open spot with the fact that we don't have an issue of a budget shortfall. In some of the recent council meetings, we have had our auditors come in and praise the city of Heath for their responsible management and fiscal conservatism. And so I think that to go on further in that, I believe that residential development is going to be a huge factor in bringing extra tax dollars in, and commercial development will come, but one of the points about commercial development is that it follows rooftops. And in the city of Heath, we want to be smart and prudent with our growth. And so I think that it's important that we stick with our land use strategy of keeping a general residential gross density of 1 dwelling per acre unit. And that is a big fact that I'll stick to as a councilman, is to stay with the 1 acre per dwelling unit, and make sure that it's smart, quality, prudent growth. And in time, the rooftops will bring quality commercial sales tax. They'll bring extra ad valorem tax with commercial. The fact that we are running in the city of Heath is not Rockwall, and Rockwall is not the city of Heath. We're very different places. And so this question will be handled differently in Heath, because we'll grow slower, and we'll grow very smart, very prudent. And I look forward to being on a council that will have an opportunity to make those decisions in a smart way.
And this will be directed to Mr. Holland first. What are the 2 most important issues facing Heath, and how would you deal with them?
Number one, the municipal management district that's coming in, it's going to be an 800-acre upscale residential development. The first issue that I've seen in running for council is that the citizens are weary of a municipal management district and what it is. It's kind of a new animal in municipal government. So I think that one issue is to educate people on what a municipal management district is. I don't have time to go into it, but feel free to contact me and we will go over that. And the other would be bringing quality, smart commercial retail to the heart of Heath. I think that we have some big plans. I know about Heath. My family's been in Heath for 5 generations, and so I have great appreciation for the heritage and traditions, but a great vision for the future of what we're going to become. And so commercial retail growth in a very smart way in the heart of Heath is would be my second and final point there.
Okay, thank you very much.
Justin and I have similar backgrounds. I grew up in Rockwall, moved here before the lake came in, and so I have seen how Heath has grown and changed. What excites me about being involved with Heath, as I have been on the park board for the past 5 years, but also as a resident for the past 12 years, is seeing how things have grown and changed, but yet so often they stay the same. And much like what Justin was saying and what I was saying earlier, we need to have quality development. I live on 10 acres. I live on 10 acres on purpose because I don't want to live in a neighborhood with a lot of dense houses. That being said, we have to be smart in how we plan our growth, how we plan our developments, so that we are able to keep the quality of life and keep the type of homes that people want to have as they mature. We have a lot of all ages that live in Heath. Many people who are elderly people in Heath are still in their homes, but they can't necessarily and don't want to necessarily take care of acre-sized lots or larger. They'd love to be able to stay in Heath though. So I think we need to find a balance there. The municipal management district concerned me at first because I didn't know enough about it. Once I started understanding that the city held no financial liability with it, but a whole lot of oversight, that made me feel better about what that could bring. My goals in working with the city is to solve a couple of different issues. We need to keep and find ways that our kids can stay in the city of Heath doing things. We have small areas for recreation. We have our Terry Park. We have our city park, which includes soccer and baseball, but not near enough. So one of the things that I would like to work towards is finding ways that our kids can stay in Heath doing things that they like to do, whether it's arts, sports, or what it might be, academic studies. That's it. Thank you.
Wow. All right. Now we're going to be afforded the opportunity to give a 1-minute summation. Ms. Burkett, you go first.
Thank you. As I mentioned, I'm a longtime resident of Rockwall County, of Rockwall and of Heath. I'm running because I want to continue the level of service that I've done with the Heath Park Board for the past 5 years in an even greater capacity. My background is I have over 25 years work experience in management of both people, processes, and brands and things. I worked with Arbitron for 18 years. They're the radio ratings company like Nielsen is for television. With that work experience, with the experience I have now teaching management and leadership and teaching managers to be better managers and better leaders, I feel like I can bring a lot of value to the City Council. That is something that will help us stay true to what our goals and our visions are and what the comprehensive plan in Heath is. And I look forward to being the next council member for Heath, and I would appreciate your vote. If you don't live in Heath, talk me up to your friends that do. Thank you.
I come to this race with an attitude of servant leadership. I find that my involvement with our community has led me to be a leader in the community that I love and I grew up in, and that my parents, grandparents, great-grandparents grew up in. The comprehensive plan does does fall in line with exactly what I want for Heath to be in the future. A lakeside community with premier neighborhoods, open spaces, parks and trails, cultural amenities, exemplary education with the schools that we have, distinctive economic development, and to provide the highest level of public service as a public servant so that we can have a place to call home for a lifetime.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Holland. And next we're going to hear from Russell.